how do you be patient with somebody when it's starting to affect your life? And when do you know that it's time to draw a boundary?
I think it's important to recognize that God ultimately wants us to see the things from his side. And that's why he gave us the Bible. If you look at things with your own eyes, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a dire situation. Let's say a man cheats on his woman all the time, right? It's hard for a woman because they're like, what the heck? You know, I've been loyal to you. I've never cheated back on you. I have your kids. And where do we draw the line where it's like, you know, do we wait on them or do we kick them out? My mom is a prime example of this. When she started not seeking my father to change his behavior and she started to trust in God to help her manage those things, my mom was a lot more free than my father was, even though my dad was the aggressor. And that is a hard thing to do. But my mother went to my pastor multiple times about this. And my dad didn't come to Christ until like years after that. In the same stroke, I believe that if you look at the situation of self, it's never good. You know, you have to go to God and be like, God, please help me, because that's what it is. It's surrender at the end of the day. There's 2 options, right? You can leave the situation or you can leave it into God's hands. And most people choose leave. I've learned, my mother has learned, and anybody who's really biblical has learned to always leave things in God's hands. One thing my pastor told my mom, which I didn't agree with at first, was sure, you leave your husband now, but you think you're not gonna have another person with a whole set of trauma, different type of problems that'll eventually bring you and drag you down to depression anyways. Why not in this predicament, rather than seeing it as such a bad position that you're in, see the other side of it, like, wow, this is an opportunity for me to go and meet God. Like, why can't you just bring this to God? And man, my mom did that and she met God, like for real in that position, where not only did she wait it out with patience, she gained patience, strength, faith, a gospel preaching son, gospel preaching husband. He preaches to his friends. It's like, how do you do that? And we're waiting on God, essentially. That's what you have to do.